All right, good evening, everybody. Hey, Kevin. Good to see you first. Happy Easter, everyone, still. How's everybody? Just getting into, just jumping back into the game. If you all recall, we left right off, about to go into the temple proper, the Temple of the Sacred Ashes of Andraste. Big Indiana Jones vibes. There's a lot of sacred quest for a sacred treasure, ancient relic of not a deity, obviously, but not that. Actually, yeah, that. Oh, actually, none of that. Anyway, thought I had a level up to do somehow, but guess not. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, happy Easter. It is, of course, still Easter. It is the Easter octave, not just the Easter season. I try and insist on... hello. I try to insist on saying Happy Easter through the duration of the Easter season. The whole season. In contrast to... I pointed this out before, I'm sure. But yeah, it was... I pointed out before that we have this tendency in the U.S., at least, especially in the U.S., this is probably elsewhere too. That is... Kevin says Kylie has a movie night with her club. It's a social club, not melee weapon. Yes, that was what I just... That was the buzz. So she may not be joining us tonight. If she is, she might be late, so we'll see. In any case, this is a great place to start because it's seasonally appropriate. Happy Easter again and again and again and again. I'm not going to stop. Easter season is after Easter, not before. It's actually very... it seems to be very common among... particularly, like I said, contemporary American secular culture, to have holidays be before they actually take place, sort of in the lead up. So we say Happy Easter throughout the early springtime, mostly during Lent. Easter shows up, and then we stop saying Happy Easter on Easter Monday. Drives me insane. Same with Christmas. We say Merry Christmas the moment Thanksgiving is over, maybe even the moment Halloween is over, and then we stop Christmas morning. We don't say it again throughout the entire Christmas season. Basically, we treat Advent like it's Christmas and Christmas like it's depression. Same goes for Easter, really. We've got our feasts and our fasts all flipped and topsy-turvied in this clown world of ours. Kevin says it's like Christmas, but longer. Longer, more important, but with worse weather, if you ask me. Being from Florida. It's around 70 out now. I do have my window open. Actually, like 72, I think. I do have my window open in the hopes that it will drop down to that predicted high 50s tonight, sometime before the stream ends. Good news is that's at least cooler than it is in here currently, at 72. Between it having been hot today and my computer running rather warm. So, could be worse. Anyway, it is definitely springtime. Yeah, one of these, it's a weird inversion thing of our bizarre clown world. Except, again, with the exception of Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras starts on Mardi Gras and then continues, I mean, depending on who you ask, more or less through Lent, unless you're in New Orleans proper. Right?
What is this place? It's different from the rest of the ruins.
It is. Nice. Turn my volume up. There we go. But yeah, it's Kevin says we're at 50 to 70 depending on various factors. That's nice. That's pretty nice. Andraste's arrows. Interrupt spellcasting? Whoo! That's nice. That's real nice. Alright, let's go with the elf flight for right now. I might need to jump to those Andraste's arrows from time to time. Damn! That's handy. Anyway. 50 to 70 sounds good. Sounds very good. During the day, it's in the like mid-low 80s here, which is just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Got a sunburn yesterday out in the pool in the backyard. It's that time of year. Anyway. Be a happy Easter. That's my my overly long spiel about why I'm saying it. Why I'm insistent. Let me know if this is too quiet, because that sounded really quiet to me. It might just be in my headphones. I'm here for the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
You have come to honor Andraste, and you shall, if you prove yourself worthy.
I need the ashes to cure a noble man.
Still, you must prove yourself worthy. It is not my place to decide your worthiness. The gauntlet does that. If you are found worthy, you will see the urn and be allowed to take a small pinch of the ashes for yourself. If not...
Kevin says the variation makes for a lot of storm brewery. Is that a proper use of the term brewery? I mean, I guess, why not? Seems odd, but seems legit. What is the gauntlet?
The gauntlet tells the true pilgrims from the false. You will undergo 4 tests of faith, and we shall see how your soul fares.
Can you tell me anything else about this gauntlet?
You will understand what it is when you face it.
Kevin tried to use the term brewery in that. I think it works. I approve, for what it's worth. Very well, I will enter the gauntlet.
Before you go, there is something I must ask. I see that the path that led you here was not easy. There is suffering in your past. Your suffering, and the suffering of others. Jarwin was discovered by the Templars. Ooh. You were helping him. Tell me, do you think you failed Jarwin?
I'm leaning towards no, because he should have known better playing with blood magic. As far as we know, he didn't do it until he was caught, but still, he knew what to do, and that's not a good sign. Still, we were friends, and I should have known that what he was up to. Kevin asks, how worried are you about my coof prick? Not terribly. At this stage, it looks like there are negative consequences. They're either minor and or distant. There very well could be. But, I mean, I'm not particularly opposed to the vaccination. I think it's probably unnecessary for a lot of people. Me for sure, because I've almost certainly gotten it months ago. And also my chances of anything significantly bad happening as a result of the virus are very close to zero. The prick makes it even closer to zero, which is maybe a good thing, but I mean, first of all, I think, well, let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure I can say with a good deal of certainty that the prioritization in Florida has been spot on, prioritizing the elderly and the vulnerable first, before the whole essential workers nonsense. Just because we haven't been locked down anyway, so why bother? Don't worry so much about transmission vectors, because if it's going to transmit, it's going to transmit. Worry about people who are vulnerable, especially with a vaccine that has no... at least a lot of experts I'm hearing from are saying that it doesn't actually prevent the spread. It just makes it less likely. So focus on the people who, for whom it will vastly increase their survival odds. Fair enough. Particularly because for a lot of people, and I'm not going to deny this at all, for a lot of people, it is potentially getting the coof is a lot worse than the potential side effects of the vaccine. Right? I've seen some correlations to my only concern, my only real concern. Two, a major one and a minor one. The minor one for me, I have a mild to moderate allergy to flu shots. Something in flu shots. I don't know what. But I have kind of an allergy to flu shots. I get like fever symptoms, like fever and basically cold symptoms for a week or two every time I get a flu shot, and this has been for going back 15 years or more. So if it's anything similar there, it's not an influenza, so it might be a very radically different thing. If they gave you $10 to take it, then that's not too bad. And hey, they'll let you in society. Unless if you're in Florida or Texas, then giant middle finger, so to speak, to vaccine passports. That I can talk about plenty. The vaccine I'm less skeptical about. I'm a little less skeptical about. The other concerns are reproductive issues, which seem to be more prominent in women. I have been seeing some correlations. I've been seeing some anecdotal stuff. And I've been seeing some theoretical stuff early on. Oh, did it say $110? Ooh, that's actually this is not bad. I don't know. So that is a concern, and the fact that it has emergency authorization for the liability protection. That's troubling. That's troubling to me. So that's really troubling. Especially if there are long-term side effects for an untested vaccine, and that means there's no liability for the companies. That's a problem, a real significant problem. So I've determined that it's almost certainly not worth what little risk there is for me in particular, and I think that's honestly a decision that everybody's got to make by looking at what are the comparative risks and that kind of thing. As for vaccine passports, literally fascism. So there you go. I'm not a fan of fascism. One might even say I am anti-fascist. Were it not for the unfortunate associations with a certain group of miscreants. So yeah, the whole digital vaccine passports thing that they're testing out in New York, that I'm sure is going to be that a lot of very well-connected people are going to try very hard to extend to the rest of the world, if not the rest of the country, if not only the rest of the country. That is very troubling, and not just because I don't plan on taking the vaccine anytime soon. Because again, like I said, I live in Florida. There's a fair chance that we're more or less, at least for the time being, safe from a lot of this nonsense. However, I occasionally might like to leave Florida at some point or another, not necessarily to move, but I have family elsewhere, and I care about my fellow human beings, and so I have a big problem with things like creating a two-tiered society with second-class citizens based on private medical information that's shared publicly. It's a really heinous situation, and I'll put a link in the description to something that a couple of either one or two YouTube videos from Dave Smith. Who explains a lot of the problems with the vaccine passports thing, and why it's such a big deal. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, when it was just the little card thing. But once it becomes a digital scan this QR code to access life, that becomes a big problem. That becomes a massive impediment to ordinary living and freedom. Especially when it becomes this kind of combination effort, this combined effort between state and corporate power. It is very, very literally fascistic. That's just what that means. So, Evan says, yes, I was mostly preemptive striking because of where I work. I was concerned that they'd trying to get me to take the evil one. I forget which one is the evil one. Is it Johnson Johnson? The aborted fetal tissue one. One of them is. They might still. Who knows? We're reaching the stage where where informed consent is not an issue anymore in medicine, apparently. Sorry, not medicine, public health. Which again, I'm an ethicist, professionally. Informed consent is like rule number 1 of biomedical ethics. Like, really, it's pretty much rule 1. It's informed consent, and then like distant second is do no harm. And even that gets questioned these days. Like, questioned hard. Informed consent? No one questions informed consent in the actual academic literature of biomedical ethics. I am not aware of anybody who questions that informed consent is a necessary condition for medical procedure. Like, no, it's not seriously considered until it becomes a policy proposal, and then it gets to the point where listen to the experts becomes listen to the scientists, and tell the ethicists to just go screw ourselves. Which, incidentally, this was did I put this in the Discord? I might have put this in the Discord. I don't remember, but it was a conversation I had on Facebook with somebody who basically was trying to inform me that the ethical questions of the lockdowns are very complex, and I'm like, yes, I know. I'm a professional ethicist, and they are almost certainly unjustified for these reasons. And he says, well, I'm not going to, forgive me, but I'll take the word of an epidemiologist over the word of a professional ethicist. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Don't trust the experts then. Literally trust them. Anyway. Yeah. I will say, though, now this is getting into conspiratorial thinking, so grain of salt. I certainly take it with a grain of salt. You should too. But the fact that the same people who have been rabidly promoting population control are rabidly promoting all of these vaccines should worry everyone. Remember that episode of Stargate SG-1? The one about the Ashen? If you haven't, look it up. ASCHEN. Alien species. Look it up. It's an interesting pair of episodes. I think it was called 2005 and 2000 or something like that. Or maybe 2010 and 2000. Something like that. Look them up. Real interesting.
Then you do not dwell on past mistakes. Neither yours nor someone else's.
It's easy for others to judge what you've done in hindsight, but it doesn't make it any better.
One wonders what this Guardian's purpose is. Be wary of his traps.
Yeah.
What's past is past. Why bring it up and open old wounds?
And what of those that follow you? Alistair, Knight, and Warden. You wonder if things would have been different if you were with Duncan on the battlefield. You could have shielded him from the killing blow. You wonder, don't you, if you should have died and not him?
Yes. If Duncan had been saved, and not me, everything would be better. If I just had the chance, maybe I...
And you? Why do you say the Maker speaks to you, when all know that the Maker has left? He spoke only to Andraste. Do you believe yourself her equal?
I never said that.
In Orlais,
That's interesting.
Someone. In Lothering, you feared you would lose yourself, become a drab sister, and disappear. When your brothers and sisters of the cloister criticized you for what you professed, you were hurt, but you also reveled in it. It made you special. You enjoyed the attention, even if it was negative.
You're saying that I made it up for the attention?
What a
I
ginger.
did not. I know what I believe.
And you, Morrigan, Flemeth's daughter, what?
Begone, spirit. I will not play your games.
I will respect your wishes. The
Wow.
way is open. Good luck, and may you find what you seek.
I'm gonna have to think about that. As far as Liliana's ideas about the Maker speaking to her, if she sticks with that by especially by Inquisition, because Inquisition has a very different religious tone than this one, and that may be something very significant by then. All right, I think we should talk to all of these ghosties. Illisay.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak?
Interesting. Any of these could be right. A coconut. Oh god, I love the Monty Python reference. And the Holy Grail, which is again very thematically appropriate. A tune. I mean, any of these would probably work, but I think a tune is probably best. By the way, Erica, you should write these down. These are good riddles. These are really nice riddles. I love these. Write these down. Yeah, I'll have it go again.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak?
Yeah, definitely a tune, right?
Yes, I was Andraste's dearest friend in childhood, and always we would sing. She celebrated the beauty of life, and all who heard her would be filled with joy. They say the Maker himself was moved by Andraste's song, and then she sang no more of simple things.
Did you get it? The smallest lark may carry me, but even a strong man may not, or something like that.
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak?
Dreams? Indigestion. Wow. There's always a snarky a-hole answer. Dreams, right? Thoughts, sister?
A dream came upon me as my daughter slumbered beneath my heart. It told of her life, and of her betrayal and death. I am sorrow and regret. I am a mother weeping bitter tears for a daughter she could not save.
Very Marian. There. Very Marian. Aw, too long to write down. Okay. I mean, you can always just go back and rewatch this part. That's a thing, too. These are good riddles. I do like these. And I especially like that especially their answers tie into parts of Andraste's life, that they are actually kind of like relevant to plot and story and religion and all that.
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak?
Home? right? I think home.
It was my dream for the people to have a home of their own, where we would have no masters but ourselves. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and thus we followed Andraste against the Imperium. But she was betrayed, and so were we.
Okay.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The debt of blood must be paid in full. Of what do I speak?
Vengeance?
Yes, my husband Hissarion would have chosen a quick death for Andraste. I made him swear that she would die publicly with her war leaders, that all would know the Imperium's strength. I am justice. I am vengeance. Blood can only be repaid in blood.
We meet Justice later, or a spirit of justice. Much later, in Awakening, the DLC campaign, which is, again, like, massive. Honestly, kind of a better Dragon Age 2 than Dragon Age 2.
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace, veiled in white, like a bride greeting her groom. Of what do I speak?
Might need to repeat on that. Think it's stars?
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace, veiled in white.
Oh, no,
Like a
no.
bride greeting her groom. Of what do I speak?
Okay, no, it's mountains. Kevin says, I found a way to argue with Mormons. Just ask them questions in perpetuity until they recognize the inconsistency of their beliefs. That's how to argue with anyone. That's just the Socratic method. You just have to ask the right questions to draw out the inconsistencies.
Yes. I carried Andraste's ashes out of Tevinter into the mountains to the east, where she could gaze ever into her Maker's sky.
East.
No more fitting a tomb than this could we find.
We're way almost due south of Tevinter. Like Ferelden is here. This, like, peninsula here. If you go due north of here, across the Waking Sea are the Free Marches. It's labeled on the top of the map. The Tevinter Imperium is, like, north and slightly west of the Free Marches. It's, like, up, sort of, I guess, the different perspective ways, kind of up that way a bunch. That does seem kind of weird, but whatever.
A poison of the soul, passion's cruel counterpart. From love she grows, till love lies slain. Of what do I speak?
Jealousy? Children. It says, hot dog. I was using the Socratic method on accident. Awesome. Yeah. Check out my video on Socrates as a troll. I think it is I think it's a really good one that explains the kind of methodology that he uses and why he uses it, and why it's applicable today. It's very much applicable today, especially to, like, on the internet even. I think it's jealousy.
Yes, jealousy drove me to betrayal. I was the greatest general of the Alamari, but beside her I was nothing. Hundreds fell before her on bended knee. They loved her, as did the Maker. I loved her too. But what man can compare with a god?
Screwy theology. The Maker, if I understand the Maker correctly, is not a god, it is God. This is a distinction did I talk about this on stream Monday, or was it only in class? I know I talked about this in class Tuesday. But the Maker, as I understand it, the Maker is just God, the God of monotheism. right? That than which nothing greater can be thought, transcendent being itself, that which is causally and in every other way responsible for the world, the necessary ground of contingency, right? All of this stuff that we associate with God in the various monotheistic faiths would properly be associated with the Maker, right? So the Maker here is just their word for God. This is very distinct from a God. A God is something like the Elven gods, which are particular and finite and have domains and such, and or the ancient gods, the old gods of Tevinter and things like that. Missy asks, think we'll get Tevinter in 4? Almost for sure. If you looked at the last trailer, one of the big scenes, one of the big sort of ambient shots was almost definitely Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter. Another one was probably Ravane. I think it looked. A lot of people are speculating it was either Ravane or maybe somewhere in Parvalin, but probably not. I'm thinking it was probably Ravane, which that's where Isabella is from, I believe. If I'm not getting that backwards. Either that or Antiva City, which is where who's our elf? Where our elf is from? What's his name? Crap. Cannot think of his name. Our Spanish elf, our Spanish sounding elf. But yeah, I'm fairly certain the odds are very good that Tevinter is going to be the main area that we are going to be sort of based in Dragon Age 4. It looks like it, which should be really cool. Sort of a comparatively very high magic kind of a setting, which should be really neat.
She wields the broken sword and separates true kings from tyrants. Of what do I speak?
Broken sword. Mercy?
She wields the broken sword and separates true kings from tyrants. Of what do I speak?
Zevran. Yeah, thanks, Missy. Yeah, Zevran. Mercy, I guess. It's gotta be, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I could not bear the sight of Andraste's suffering, and Mercy bade me end her life. I am the penitent sinner, who shows compassion as he hopes compassion will be shown to him.
Hey. It's the mythologized equivalent of Saint Longinus. It's funny. There was a post sort of making, like, poking fun at the crucifixion on Good Friday of all times, which I think was, of course, online you find that sort of thing that I happen to see. Like of a Roman soldier standing in front of the crucifixion doing like a thumbs up, like a touristy thumbs up kind of thing, and I made note that it was Saint Longinus. And somebody thought that was just a fictional thing, but no, that's historical. That Saint Longinus was the Roman centurion who pierced Christ's side with his spear, who shortly thereafter converted to Christianity and became a zealous defender of the faith. Left the army, if I remember right, and all that.
No man has seen it, but all men know it. Lighter than air, sharper than any sword. Comes from nothing, but will fell the strongest armies. Of what do I speak?
Hunger?
Yes. Hunger was the weapon used against the wicked men of the Tevinter Imperium.
It's a good one.
The Maker kindled the sun's flame, scorching the land. Their crops failed, and their armies could not march. Then he opened the heavens and bade the waters flow, and washed away their filth. I am Cather, disciple of Andraste and commander of her armies. I saw these things done, and knew the Makers smiled on us.
That's taken from Constantine. when Constantine converted, a large part of why was due to a rain miracle. I mean, he prayed to the Christian God, emblazoned his banners and shields with the Chiron, Cairo, yeah, Cairo, and there was a drought that destroyed enemies' supply lines, and then torrential rain which stopped their advance. So it was it's taken. I like how much of this is taken directly from, Christian history. I shit talked BioWare during my Mass Effect playthrough. I shit talked BioWare a good deal about their not understanding religion. But I think they clearly do. It's just they didn't try in their sci-fi game. Quick save just in case. What's Jowan up to? Probably fake.
Had fun with the riddle game?
Yeah. Great. Someone finally speaks plainly.
But they do speak plainly. Riddles speak to your soul and your gut more often than to your mind. Or they always seem to for me. You have come so far since I saw you last. The last vestiges of your shackled life in the circle have all but fallen away. You are free of the past, and nothing will hold you back. Be strong, my friend. Do not falter. I have something for you. Use it well. It makes me happy, knowing you will be the mage that I never could.
What is it? Not showing me what it is. Really? Did he give me that? Spirit crystal. Really? For Shale? I don't have Shale with me. Or that. Yep, I think it's that. I think he just gave me Life Drinker. For Blood Mage. Did he? I don't know. I don't know, man. Look at this. My inventory's already almost full. This is ridiculous. Alright. I'm gonna have to run off before I fight that dragon. Or I'm gonna have to come back for it. Oh, jeez. You'll remember there's a dragon, right? Oh, God, they have Duncan here, too. Oh, this is very bad. This is all very bad. Let's kill me first. Are you kidding me? Okay, crushing prison. Really? Alistair's down already? This is ridiculous. Oh, jeez. Damn it. Fine. You know what? Fine. Now I can... I'm gonna frost them all. They're down. There we go. Okay. This is the mirror match, and it's very difficult.
You should run while you can. Make her preserve us.
No doubt this had something to do with facing the dark side of your soul, or some such rubbish.
Did you see the cruelty on her face? Is that really what I am?
That was weird.
That's your response, Alistair? That's your response. Okay, fair enough. Erica says, kids, this is why you don't throw leveled adventurers against your party in D&D. And definitely not a clone of your current party. Yeah, for sure. That is not a TPK waiting to happen, but definitely character death waiting to happen. Because think about it, you if you're fighting yourself, you're on even odds. If you're on even odds, then you're probably going to have equal casualties. Or maybe you're really smart and you'll have, one fewer casualty. You better hope it's the person who can revive everyone. Just saying. I don't have cleansing aura up, do I? Do I need it? No. 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 Okay.
Where's the tavern?
Uh-oh. I'm terrible at puzzles.
Hey, you see those thingies over on the side of that huge chasm? I bet they're used for something. Maybe I should touch them or stand on them?
Alistair, normal people tend to avoid strange-looking sections of floor thingies, as you say. They tend to be traps.
You don't really think they're traps, do you?
There's no bottom to this. Cool. Let's,
I don't think it's solid enough to stand on, but it's a start.
Okay. There.
I am yours.
No?
That's an actual bridge piece right there. If we can get all the bridge pieces to be solid, we can make it across.
I'm not gonna cheat and have Duncan go, because you could totally cheat. Okay, that means crap. Who has to move? Alistair does, right? Yep.
Yes?
Crap.
We just get one person across the table there.
Okay. Yeah, you remember this puzzle, huh? It's the ones that are twos, that have two things at once. That really matter, like that one. Alright. No. No. Hmm. Okay. Okay, that's the first two. Okay, cool. Good to know. Need one that's the first one. Is that? No. I used this puzzle for D&D. I know it. It's not well enough. Okay, first one. Cool. Liliana. Find one that's the second one's that one, right? No. Alright, Dalen, walk to there. Alistair needs to stay. Morrigan can move. Yeah. The one that's 2 and 3, which is this one, I think. Yup. Hope. Liana can move. Darn, I was wrong. There.
We're on our way. Let's get on with it then.
Okay, no, that one has to stay.
Yes, I'm still
All right.
here.
Morrigan. Oh, wait, no, it is this one. This is the... No, it's not. This is not the 2 and 3 one. Ah, jeez. That? Okay. Crap. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna do this the smart way.
Here I am.
Alright. So, from the beginning. Just 3. Just 4. Just 1. I'm gonna make note of all the ones that do more than 1. Just 4. Just 2. Alright. All of the ones on this side are only 1. Cool. Good to know. Just 3. 1 and 2. Alright. Just 1. 2 and 3. Alright. 1 and 2. 2 and 3. 3 and 4. Max says, I always look up this puzzle and I feel no shame for it. No way, I'm doing it. I actually... Okay, so... funny. I actually had to go into and find this save. So that one's 3 and 4. This one's 2 and 3. Alright, and that one's 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Okay. 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Alright, those are the only ones that matter. Alistair.
Yes, my friend.
1. Nope, it's 3. Anyway, so I actually had to go into this puzzle, like find a save for this puzzle, so I could write down which panels did what,
Ask away.
so that I could use this in our D&D game. Okay, cool. Now, Dalen,
Adventure's
go to
not
here.
over yet.
Nope, 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 nope. Nope, oops. Alistair needs to go to the 3 and 4 one. Morrigan needs to find a 3 one over here. There.
Where's
Dylan
the
needs to go
tavern?
here. Liliana needs to go to that one. So I actually wrote down what panels did what, so that I could then replicate this puzzle in our D&D game, which actually worked really well. It took some doing, but we did it. All right, come here, everyone. Whew. Erica says, my rogue was the unlucky rogue who volunteered to go across. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Interesting. There's fire here. Let's see. The altar is a little more than a dusty stone slab. You make out an inscription carved into its face. She says, because traps and puzzles, of course. Cast off the trappings of worldly life and cloak yourself in the goodness of spirit. King and slave, lord and beggar, be born anew in the Maker's sight. Remove equipment. Let's get naked. Yay. Alright, everybody.
You have been through the trials of the gauntlet. You have walked the path of Andraste.
They didn't even need to, but they did just for fun, I guess.
You have been cleansed. You have proven yourself worthy, Bill. Approach the sacred ashes.
Can I put my clothes back on? Oh, yay, I can! I guess. Unfortunate adventurer. Aww. Oh, okay, I was gonna get that guy.
I never dreamed I would ever lay my eyes on the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I have no words to express.
I didn't think anyone could succeed in finding Andraste's final resting place. But here she is.
I stand in awe. Really?
Can't tell if she's sarcastic there. So, funny thing, there is an option here. If you agree with the guy down in the cave, there is an option to defile the Urn of Sacred Ashes. And if you have Liliana with me, she will attack you, and you have to kill her. So that's neat. Really? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Which actually, brings up lots of problems with subsequent games when she, is scripted to show up, but they make her some kind of ghost thing. It's a weird retcon, but they did what they had to because they decided you could kill off a companion. Take a pinch of the ashes. You take a pinch of the ashes and place it in a leather pouch. Interesting. All right. Well, that's that.
Going.
Whoa. Whoa. I can't. What can I destroy? There. Okay. Oh, there's a big old chest. Oh boy. Oh, that's all? Okay. I thought there'd be more than that. There one over here? Yeah, there's one over here. Your flawless. Large flawless nature crystal. Already have one, so. Worth more.
Adventure's not over yet.
Alright, let's go. Alright, we've completed our quest. Alright. Oh, everyone leveled up. Nice. Alright, let's do it. Willpower for more mana. Nah, not tactics. Stealing? Nah. All the way up in there. Combat training, so I don't get interrupted so much. Yeah. Yeah. Shock's pretty good. Fine. Let's go with regeneration. There. Morrigan. Yeah, let's do Blood Mage. Why not? Let's go for it. Master Shapeshifter. Let's go all the way there first. Or Hexes. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's go Master Shapeshifter. And yeah, it's awesome. Love it. Alright, cool. Okay, let's get out of here for right now. And then we'll come back here, fight the dragon, after we sell a bunch of things. Pretty sure we can do that, just in case. If not, I'm going to quick save. Actually, I'm going to save. There. Should be able to do this. In any case, though, right? We more or less completed our quest. Do have to slay the dragon, like I said. Incidentally, so I am at as of I think right now. I haven't refreshed in the last few minutes, but I am currently. I mentioned this Monday as well. I'm currently sitting pretty at 499 subscribers. And I kind of find myself really wanting that pointless achievement of having 500. So, if you don't happen to be subscribed, and you would like to, I do actually have real content that is not just live streams. So by all means, if you would like to subscribe, I would appreciate it greatly, because I have one more will get me to 500. That mud play button. So that is the thing. Anyway, more importantly, more on topic. Kevin asked, what would the church say regarding the use of comedy? Are there guidelines? Probably nothing blasphemous. But even then, I'm a little bit less harsh than others might be, with respect to even some blasphemous comedy. So long as the fun being made is not so much insulting at the expense of God, but rather poking fun at ourselves. Any case of making light of ourselves, I think, is a good check against pride.
Well, did you find it?
That can even be a check against the pride in religious pride, so to speak. So if that is the case, then I think even some forms of comedy, which could be in other contexts blasphemous, might be all right. As for what the church has to say in particular, I don't think there are specific guidelines. It's just other guidelines of appropriate speech and behavior. Comedy per se is not its own completely separate activity. It's just a part of ordinary speech. It's a thing we do. So I don't think it would be its own set of rules. That said, something I did mention last Thursday, I think, was a great quote from Duns Scotus, who talks about how comedy is a justification for a kind of lying. And this is controversial, but I think he's probably right about this. Where a lie can be acceptable if it is for the sake of comedy under certain circumstances. What he lays out, where everyone involved, everyone who is both saying and hearing the lie, is aware that it is untrue, right? If we're sharing a story that isn't true, right? That kind of thing. Then that's, if we're talking about, the hero of Ferelden, for example, but everyone knows that that's not true per se, right? It doesn't actually correspond to reality, but it's not like and so therefore it's not technically telling the truth. It's lying in that sense. But we all know, we're all sort of in on it. So that could be fine. The other kind of lie that he thinks is all right, lie for comedy that he thinks is okay, is the kind where no one actually gets hurt. That's important. And that once everyone finds out about it, that's important, that everyone has to eventually find out about it, that even the victims of the joke, so to speak, have to then be able to see the comedy in it after the fact. So it can't just be cruel. Right? And the example he goes to is Joseph from the Old Testament, who was sold by his brothers into slavery in Egypt, and then, as a joke, again, Scotus interprets this as a joke, which I think is hilarious that's how he interprets this. He interprets it as a joke when Joseph tells the Pharaoh that his brothers were actually spies, and that they were to be executed. Scotus seems to be reading this as the Pharaoh being sort of in on it, and just doing this to scare his brothers and sort of get a rise out of them as kind of a prank, which is a really funny reading of that story. I really like that. It's kind of silly. It's a little bit irreverent, but not in a dangerous way or not in a harmful way. No one actually gets hurt by it. And again, by this reading, presumably Joseph's brothers get it. They get the joke after the fact. They're like, oh, that was so funny, brother. We thought you were going to have us all killed. Like, well, just... So in those contexts, I think that lying that comedy could be acceptable, even if it breaches what would otherwise be pretty solid moral norms, like lying, right? Prohibitions on lying, or things like hostility, right? Or uncharity. Right? Ordinarily, it's a sin to be uncharitable. It's a sin to insult and to demean. But again, if it's for comedy, and if the person you are insulting and demeaning is in on the joke to an extent, right, or could see the comedy in it, then that can be acceptable. The question of trolling per se is a more interesting question, because it's questionable for a different reason. Because what you do when you troll someone is you manipulate them into becoming a performer in your act. Whether that's a comedy act or whether that's a teaching act, which is what that's the Socratic method, is you're asking the right questions to manipulate somebody into, demonstrating their view to be wrong, demonstrating their own absurdities, or even just to, teach a new point. Right? You're getting them to, unbeknownst to them typically, you're getting them to participate in your routine, so to speak. Socrates did this like crazy. This is how it's understood and defined by perhaps the world's foremost troll of today, of the modern day, being Michael Malice. A very close second has to go to Milo Yiannopoulos. Both of these are perfect exemplars of the jester, people who are excellent at getting people to demonstrate and show themselves to be fools, typically, which is what the fool does. It points out foolishness by presenting a mirror, so to speak. But yeah, in that case, it the object of trolling should be to enlighten, right? Not just to harass, and that's kind of important. So part of it has to be in the hopes that either the person you are trolling or other people involved will see this and will take something from it, not just a chuckle, but will once they see the absurdity that you're sort of drawing out of the situation by getting somebody else to participate in your act, or your routine or your conversation or whatever, that upon seeing this, hopefully the person who you're trolling, but if not, then at least those surrounding you will see the absurdity and will then be able to reflect upon it. Now, the victim of trolling, the person trolled, we see this in the Socratic dialogues, right, is they often do see the error, but they're often also too prideful to admit their error or to see the comedy in their error. And so usually what we see is a kind of aporia, a kind of shrug, or a kind of just parting of the ways unsatisfied, right? Think of the Plato's Euthyphro, the sort of prototypical example of a Socratic dialogue, where Euthyphro, this expert on piety, this expert on matters religious, is shown to be completely ignorant of matters religious. And then at the end of it, he says, another time, Socrates, as I have places to be. And then Socrates goes to his trial to be executed. It's delightful irony. It's brilliantly funny. Plato is a funny guy, unbeknownst to people who read him purely dramatically. Okay, I missed some things. So Missy says, can't possibly know about fertility issues until much later. So back to talking about the V word for the C word. Sorry. I don't want to say those words too close together in context of this, just in case. I know I won't, she says, I know I won't take it. I hear the future infomercials now. If you or a loved one took the Pfizer vaccine in 2021, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Yeah, I mean, well, again, be careful with that, because even then, the liability protections could kick in, and you could wind up having to try and sue the state, or the federal government, or the FDA. Good luck with that. Even a class action lawsuit doesn't usually go very far against the FDA, which is why you don't see vaccine manufacturers sued almost ever. It's a nasty cronyist type of relationship there. Yeah. So also to go back to what I was saying a while ago, right? So she says population control is good with scare quotes. 5 seconds later, take the vaccine or you'll kill grandma. Yeah. Thanos was not only evil, but he was also wrong, stupid, and has followers everywhere in real life. And by Thanos, I also mean Thomas Malthus. And I mean the more modern versions of like Paul Ehrlich with the population bomb and things like that. If you haven't seen out of the Foundation for Economic Education out of frame episodes on Thanos, you should. They're fantastic. Check them out. I'll put links in the description after the stream as well to both of them. It's all about the issue of population control and depopulation as something that will benefit the planet and things like that, or benefit ourselves, so even benefit humanity, which again benefit those who are left. Yeah, it's nonsensical. I'm as much of an anti-humanist as the next traditionalist. But for very different reasons. It's because I think humanism is racist, more or less. Right. Not technically. The humanism shares the same philosophical foundations as racism. Kevin says, well, darn. I may actually be wrong sometimes, because I have at times, many times, trolled for the sake of derision and my own entertainment. If that's it, if that's all you're going for, then it would be roughly the same as insulting, right? As insults, which are certainly no mortal sin, but are certainly uncharitable. Right? I'm actually trying to be pretty careful about this, although being on the internet so much, I slip up and I screw it up too. To be fair, to be perfectly frank, right? But whenever I troll, I try and at least do it to make a point, right? Rather than just doing it for lols. Because yeah, it's funny sometimes. It sure is, but usually it's to make a point. Which is why I kind of there's another thread. I don't know if you might not have seen this one, Kevin, but this was a I got into an argument with somebody about the if you remember, there was a Polish pastor, I guess, in Canada last week who I think this was Holy Saturday, who basically kicked out a bunch of like health department officials and police who were trying to shut down his service, and just basically just kept repeatedly shouting at them, get out, come back with a warrant, don't come back, and just basically just kept shouting at them that they were fascists and Nazis, which was just great to see. I just love it. Theologically, he seemed to be a bit of a Judaizer, but whatever. I can accept allies with whom I have theological disagreements. Whatever. I guess religious disagreements in that case, if not theological. I was talking about Passover. In any case, though, right? It's man, that was a great display. And somebody was like, "Oh, well, this is just." They were just doing the right thing. They were just doing something they needed to. Somebody was defending the police in this instance, and I was like, "No, stop being a fascist. You're being a Nazi." And I just kept pushing, calling the person a Nazi, because my intention initially was to push her, in this case, to see the absurdity of ascribing like Nazi motives to a Polish immigrant priest trying to celebrate a holy day while being shut down by the police, right? Especially trying to celebrate literally Passover while being shut down by the police. The Nazi comparisons right themselves. And again, I was trying to get her to sort of notice this, and of course she didn't. Basically, it was pressing very, very hard onto. It got to the point of this person was defending it to the point of saying that no, I'm basically the opposite of a Nazi. Okay, but you seem to be espousing everything that the Nazis espouse. Like, well, no. What I am is a different kind of authoritarian, not a Nazi. I'm just like, that's still bad, but okay. And then I walked away from it because there was nothing more I could get her to admit to at that point. That as far as any rational observer would say, was not already damning. Got to do what you got to do, and you got to know when to walk away when you're not going to make any progress. When you're not actually going to do anything productive. I could have continued, because I will say I kind of understand why people will just continuously berate somebody and call them a Nazi on the internet, because there's a sense of real power there that you have over somebody for accusing them in that way, in particular, which is not spiritually healthy. So I'm glad I walked away from that when I did. But it was that was a mess, but it was I think educational for some of the people watching. The person on whose status this was went from at the beginning of this exchange liking her comments and laugh reacting mine to liking my comments and angry reacting hers. So again, it was at least from what I can tell, at least an influence on the audience, so to speak, for what it's worth.
Is that? Oh, there's some dust on. No, that's not dust. Omega, I'm not worthy to look upon. What was it like, coming to the urn, I mean?
Grueling. There were tests.
Tests? Interesting. Very interesting. Perhaps my research will not seem so much like blasphemy to the Chantry now. We must organize an expedition. There is so much history here, it must be studied. And pilgrims should be allowed to come to the urn.
Yes, the Urn of Sacred Ashes must be shared with the world.
And eventually, it shall be exploited by the rich and the powerful, as these things usually are.
Maybe.
I must return home.
Still a miracle.
If you ever find yourself in Denerim, please visit me. I am not a rich man, but I have a small collection of interesting artifacts, and I do owe you a reward for coming to my rescue. I hope to see you soon, my friend.
Okay. Alright, we're all set there. So, like I said, my inventory is full to bursting. We need to find a shop so I can sell off all this. Or at least most of this. Go to Soldier's Peak, so I can drop some things off and then sell off the rest. Then we'll go back to the go back up here and fight that dragon, shall we? Blood droops on the map. This might be the last week that it's nice enough to have incense burning and the window open. Of the year, or of the season, let's say, not the year. Hopefully by, October, November, December it'll be nice again, but the way things are going, might be until then.
What can I do for you, Warden?
See your wares. I'd like to sell off my junk to you. Ow, got me. There. Alright, let's sell off a bunch of stuff. Fate's Edge? No, let's keep that. Jagger. Longsword. Mace. Maul. Bow. Which one's staff? Flood. That's done. Shell. Natural crystal. Fire. Okay. She's got large clear or flawless. Sell one of those. Missy says, I just realized I was like watching this from the beginning. Just ignore me. No, no big deal. That's fine. It's totally fine to go back over these kinds of things. Do I need those for something? I think I need those for something. I'll keep them. This is some of the stuff I need to just put away, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I should have sold that. Well. That's for, really? Can't put these in there. I don't know how that happened. It sometimes will default to. Watching from the beginning. So, it happens. No big deal. Let's see. Anything else I can store? Don't really... Shouldn't. No? A lot of these I just don't need, but... Yeah. It's good to have them. Just need a backpack. Or just to mod out the inventory limit. I'm going to sell those armor bits.
Certainly.
Kevin says, wouldn't derision of for entertainment directed generally be the same as insulting, or would it be sin only as directed towards specific individuals? I think it would be to specific individuals. It should only really be in specific individuals. The exception to that, I think, it would depend on the sort of, I can't say the state of your soul exactly, but it would have to depend on something like your, it would have to depend something on something like your, your disposition towards that which you are deriding. Right? If what you're deriding is a person per se, or even persons, people, groups, and your the feelings towards them that you are expressing are uncharitable, this is different from, say, an evaluation that a negative evaluation that you make light of through comedy. That's very different. This is also very different from saying, these ideas are dumb and stupid, right? All of those are rather different things. But if it is that you are, deriding a person of a particular sort,
Really?
even if it's general, even if it's not directed at someone very specific, that can still be, I think, can still be, let's put it this way, the cultivation of vice, right? Which is a sort of sin. Cultivating vice is still sinful. Anything for her? Any of these things? I don't think so. No. How about Morrigan? Is that pendant for Morrigan? Yeah, it is.
A fine gift.
Yeah.
You have my thanks.
Necklace locket. Locket too.
A fine gift.
Nice.
You have my thanks.
That's it. Alright, these are for other party members and I can't put them away, so, alright. Does that distinction make sense, Kevin in particular? Is you the one asking? I think it's a little bit wibbly-wobbly, to be fair. It's not super precise of a distinction to make. It is a distinction, and it's probably an important one, but it's not super cut and dried, and a lot of it depends on intention, a lot of it depends on one's own thoughts, and even one's own sort of feelings toward that which you are disparaging. Which, folks like us don't like thinking about feelings. Feelings are dumb. I don't like feelings. But at the same time, like, oh geez, ogre, okay. Lap. It's freezy weezy. Let's crushing prison ogre. Very precise here. Uh-oh. It's not coming at me, is it? Oh my gosh, she's still really up. Force field. Oh, there's another one. That's not good. Alright, dog. Go after that one. Uh-oh. This is very bad. Whew. That was fun.
And I'm off.
So Kevin asks, what would that look like as an example? Sinful group derision. Like maybe say fat shaming for the sake of deriding the ridiculous nature of fat acceptance versus fat shaming for the jiggles or the giggles. Yeah. Even I would say even fat shaming in general isn't necessarily wrong. You can laugh at the humor of people being overweight, right? It's just if you can do so without attributing undue blame and without pride, right? The real things I think, ethically speaking, the things to be concerned about there are more about your how do I put it? I guess I would say it's more about your it's more about your virtues and associated vices than it is about your the precise thing that you do. If what you're doing is out of a kind of pride, right? So if your joke about fat people is because, look how fit I am, rather than your joke about fat people saying, observing something funny about, observing something funny about what's funny about fat people? I don't know, something about airline seats, right? Not being able to fit in airline seats, something like that. I don't know, something mundane, something that would have been like par for the course for a comedy show, 10 years ago or whatever, right? Or even making fun of the fat acceptance movement or whatever, right? Or body shaming or anything like that. Fine. Let's do that. Any of those things, right, would be different from saying, haha, look at those stupid fat people, look at how much better I am, right, for being fit. Yeah, Kevin, fitting through doors or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that. Right? Stuff that is, objectively insulting, right? It's not nice. But it's a funny observation about something funny, right? And maybe most importantly, it is, it's not expressing any particular vices, particularly the vice of pride, which is probably the most dangerous for comedy, right? If it's something that you could laugh at yourself about, then you've probably avoided the associated vices. Like I can make fat jokes about myself all the time. I do. I am compared to especially compared to like high school and undergraduate, I'm comically out of shape. And the last year has not helped matters. Oop, dragon, there it is. Alright, let's quick save before we do this, shall we? Let's go right here. Be ready for it. This is going to be really rough. Quick save. But yeah, I think that the big deal is the virtues and vices. Closer to the perch? Okay, fine. I'll go down here. The virtues and the vices that are exposed by one's joke, rather than the joke itself. Let's try this again. Howdy there, friend. Ah, okay, he's right there. Okay, not what I was expecting. All right. Do it. Oh, Jesus, hold on. This is not good. I really should have prepped more. Crushing prison. Resisted. Oh, that's not good. Let's go Life Ward Morgan. Heal. Ow. Nope, not good. Frosty. Good. Blizzard. Oh, Morgan's down. That's not good. And Liliana's down. Oh, that's not good either. Crap. This isn't gonna work. Oh, I got fireballed. Okay. Revive. Can I hit both of them? That's gonna make all the difference in the world. I hope so. Healing aura. Lyrium potion. Oh god, no. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Kevin says I'm a diet nut that constantly goes on candy vendors. See, you can make fun of yourself, and that's why it's not so bad. Right. Alright, let's back up a little ways and let's go Blizzard. Let's go Firestorm, hopefully before it lands. Nope, that was worth a shot. Oh no, come on, really? Everyone kill it. No! Crushing prison. What's quick load? I'm gonna need to do this a lot. F1, F4, no, okay. F9. There we go. Let's try again. Okay, this is a really hard fight. I forgot. I did not realize this was going to be such a hard fight. Okay, so I need to put down both storms and have a cleansing aura. And life ward myself, but I'll wait to do that. Big storm. Big storm. Load horn. Go up there. Go back there. Go right up front. And move back. Dog. Go hang out with Alistair. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Good. Damn it. Freezy Weezy. Oh, nope, no Freezy Weezy. Okay, Cone of Cold. Did not work. Okay, we're making progress here. Life drain. Oh, that's very bad. Group wheel. Ow! Oh, wait. Rivalize. Regen, whatever. Another potion. Okay. Ow, very bad, very bad. Suck up. Potion. Dog's dead. Okay, that's not great. Oof, Kevin says, I guess it's an important question for me because I've had so many people indicate that my post made them uncomfortable, or they regard me as unkind. But that doesn't solve the issue of objectiveness. Yeah, and I mean, part of that comes down to, you know, part of that does legitimately come down to controlling one's own emotions, right? But at the same time, it also comes down to, you know, if you are, whoa, jeez, that's not good. If you are genuinely trying to, you know, maintain and form and hold a relationship with somebody, then typically it's going to matter to you what they think of issues like that, right? Because if it's going to hurt someone, if what you say, if you know what you say is going to hurt somebody, then you have... crap! This is very bad. It's like half health. I don't know if I can do this. Wait, why did she not have... I'm an idiot. I should have summoned my pets. Anyway. But like I said, I think a lot of it does have sort of to do with... Can I summon both? No, I can't. Oh, bye bear. Let's try this again. But yeah, I do think that it's kind of a matter of, you know, what are you trying to do, right? If you actually speak to somebody and you say like, hey, I'm not meaning to insult you in particular here, and you're genuinely not, and they still persist, right, in saying, hey, this is offensive to me, or this is you know, this is a problem despite you not intending it as one. There are cases where you can say that is let's do that. That you're still in the right overall. Right? It's not like you're doing the wrong thing here. I'm gonna try and sleep the dragon. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna Death Cloud. Right there, and Dalen is gonna Blizzard.
Yes, I'm still here.
And then I'm gonna Firestorm. Same spot. Okay. Let's back up. Dog, move up. Alistair, move up. Liana, back up. Bear, move up. Okay.
Let's get on with it then.
Ah! Not good.
Yes.
Everyone, kill the dragon. Except for Dalen. Heal everyone. Ow? Really? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, how about I freezy weezy as soon as it lands? There, that's good. Die, suck its health. And die, fireball. Crushing prison. I figured that wouldn't work. Group heal isn't going to work. Revitalize Alistair. Heal. That's bad. Okay. Group heal. Big weird potion. Potent. Okay, everyone's doing fine for right now. I'm gonna take the time to life ward myself, just in case, so I don't screw this up. Firestorm Dragon. Are you kidding? Can I mana drain the dragon? Didn't work. I can drink. I can freezy weezy. Heal. I can firestorm. Morrigan can. Where's sleep? Oh, Curse of Mortality. Yeah, let's do that. Crap. Revival on Alistair. Potion. Heal Alistair. Rejuvenate Alistair. Freeze the dragon. Nope, nope, nope. Freeze the dragon. Lifesteal the dragon. Crap.
Yes.
Heal everyone. Oof. Okay. Need that. Oh, it's coming. Oh, he's coming. Need this. Alistair, get back up. Oh, bear's down. Summon your wolf. Lightning bolt. Okay, this is going well. This is going well. I have a chance here. No, wait. No. Alistair. Stay up. My tank needs to stay alive. It's my only tank now. He. Let's try that. Oh, come on, Alistair. Stay up. Ow. Still, though. Freeze. That's good news. Didn't last long. Oh! He's good. He's doing it. Oh. Yeah.
The adventure's not over yet.
Whew. Oh my god. That's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. Oh man. That's a dragon horde, alright. Jeez, man. Electricity damage. That's not helpful for anyone, but still. Damn. Whew! Alright, that's... Alright. That was a good fight. It was rough. Let's get out of here. Actually, let's check out these items we got, because some of these I'm going to be using, I think. That I could totally give to Liliana. Really? 20 strength. She needs this. Needs to get more strength. Alright, fine. Siege gauntlets. Yeah, let's go with that. That's fine. Let's go with dog. I can't give him that right now. Soon, though. Can't even longbow? Nah, Felindin's Reach is just better. Row dagger. Now give that to God, I can never remember his name. It's not very nice of me to not remember his name. No. No. Duster leather. No. Get head to charge. Let's give that to Alistair, yeah. Yeah. It's actually pretty good too, but anyway, so Erica said a while ago, you know what's wholesome fat shaming? That restaurant that gives discounts based on how many progressively narrower sets of bars you can fit through. Yes, I love that. That's actually really good. That is really good. Oh, to the Magister Lord says that. Oh no, that's not as good. Damn. Life Drinker though. Yeah. Kevin says it would be cool to make a hut out of the dragon's rib cage. Sure would, wouldn't it? No, let's go with nature damage, I guess. Let's keep with that, because a lot of her necromantic stuff are nature damage. Anything that she really, really needs look like it. Alistair, any of this armor really good? Heavy infantry helmet. Helm of Honleith is actually somehow better. No. Heavy plate gloves. No, gloves of the Legion. Templars actually. Oh man, that's a lot more armor. Wow, that's pretty cool. I think I have to go with the Templar though. Really, I have to go with the Templar armor, just because he's a Templar. You know, does the thing that's helpful. All right, how about dog? Pure bitch braid. Yeah, that's just better. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here. Man, oh man. Alright, we do have one more major quest to do. That I think we can do tonight. I think we might have to stop partway through. We've got about an hour left, a little over an hour. We should be okay. Should be good to get it done tonight. We'll see. Oops.
Yes.
All right. First, though, let's go to the camp. Equip everybody else with the stuff we've got and sell off everything else. Back to Ostagar, if I recall. Alright. Where was that? Zevran. Silver bar.
You have excellent taste.
The Antivan leather boots are for him, right? I think so. It's gotta be. Gotta be. Yeah, of course.
That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you knew I was missing my homeland, but this does the trick nicely.
You told me. What are you waiting for? Try them on.
But I'm not finished admiring them yet. Can you smell that? Like rotting flesh. Just like back in Antiva City. Now if only you could find me a prostitute or two. A bowl of fish chowder and a corrupt politician. I'd really feel like I was home.
Oh my god.
And the feet as well. Marvelous.
God. Well, okay. Legit. Was it this one? Oh, he puts them on. Okay, he does put them on. Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Chase and sack meat. That's got to be for Ogren, right? Yep.
That looks fine indeed.
Discovering Dragon's Blood potions is for Win, I think.
Oh, marvelous.
Yes. It's that antidote. Oh, we got to go back and do that, don't we? All right. Yeah, let's keep what she's got there. I'm never gonna use Win. Like, really. I might use Ogren at some point. Mate Shear or War Axe. It's pretty good. There. And good. Oh. Can't use heavy. You can't use massive armor, can you? Pro dagger. Give that to Zevran. All right. Shield. There we go. There, better. Why not? She doesn't have any boots. She's never going to use lightning damage, but whatever, it's fine. Somebody needs them. Just no boots. But okay. Sure. All right. Anything else I need to equip well, or am I pretty good? think that's about it. And I can basically just sell off everything else. Everything that's not really specific. Yeah.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
See your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
All right. It's nice, but no. Tell, yeah. Tell. Here to shell. I think I did that wrong. Crap. Oh well, it's fine. Sell. No. 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 Kevin says being able to foresee people's reactions to things exponentiates mirth for me. Okay, I'm almost certain that's not a word, nor is it correctly used, but I know what you mean, so good enough. When people react precisely as intended, it is so satisfying. I do agree with that. That is very true. That really I need. Jeez, that's pretty good. What idol I can get rid of. Any crap stuff I don't need. Drake scales. Do I need these? I'm gonna hang on to those. I'm gonna wait. Don't think I need them, but I don't want to get rid of them just in case. No one makes traps, so I'll just get rid of some of these things. Okay. Alright, cool. Enchantment.
Enchantment.
Oh gosh, I love you. You're so great. Alright, so Spellweaver. This is mine. Physical resistance. Physical resistance. Anything else? Do I have to do one at a time? I don't think I do. I think I can do them all at once, can't I? Oathkeeper, equipped by Alistair. That's fine. By Ogren, it's done. Alright, yeah, that. Let's go with the slow thing. And paralysis. And that should be all. That should be fine. I think. Alright. Let's see what Morgan's up to.
We're in camp,
so cute.
so 'tis as good a time as any.
Okay, fair enough.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Do you object?
Not unless you stop.
Oh my gosh. Okay, tasteful fade to black. That's good. That's nice. Oh my gosh. Alright, Shale up to. We haven't talked to her in a while.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe.
So Eric asks, what are the religious ramifications of taking someone's holy ashes from someone's resting place? Isn't that also desecration? Really? Yes. Separating one's ashes would be. However, it seems like it couldn't necessarily be, because we separate the parts of bodies of saints all the time, right? And they're relics. Right? This is actually very common. So if it is as a sacramental, if it is as a religious artifact, then if it's if it's venerated in a proper way, particularly if the one whose relic it is a saint, then it wouldn't necessarily be sacrilegious. It wouldn't be a kind of desecration. And so presumably this would be one of those cases, right? This would be this would be a reverential act, taking the ashes for a holy purpose. But it's also not clear what is done with the ashes, if they are sprinkled over, or if they are used in a ritual, or what exactly. It does seem a little bit off. Particularly taking the part of one's ashes off for one's own purposes, that sort of thing. It does seem, you're right, a little bit off. I think saints' relics are the closest analog here. Kevin says exponentiates equals third person singular simple present indicative form of exponentiate. That's still exponentiate. Is that even a word? I don't know, man. I don't think so, but maybe. But yeah, I think there are some questionable implications with respect to the sacred ashes and taking away a part of it especially for one's own purposes. In this case, it is for, again, it's for a holy cause, although it's maybe not for a devotional cause per se. So it's, again, a little sketchy. I don't know, there is some potential sketchiness to it, you're right. Anyway, Shale, you're tall for a dwarf.
I am not a dwarf. Or at least, I'm not a dwarf any longer. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it.
Perhaps there are records in Orzammar.
There is another way.
Oh.
What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is.
We can go if you like.
Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
I forgot. That's a loyalty mission. Let's go do that.
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants.
I think we already said we
heard
this.
Dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Actually, never mind.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
All right, that's about all for him. But Alistair, what are you up to?
Something on your mind?
I had another dream of the Archdemon.
Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think?
I think the Archdemon needs to die quickly.
Well, short of waltzing through the entire Darkspawn horde and tapping it on the nose, I'm not sure just how we're supposed to do that. But killing the Archdemon is the general plan, I understand. Good to have you on board. I guess one thing is certain at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight.
Yep. Yep, for sure. See what Zevran's up to, since we gave him the boots.
What say you?
Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
You've never killed an innocent?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
I mean, that's true. It is important to remember that, but it's also important not to be the one to deliver it. So that sounds like an excuse, Severin.
Death happens, as we like to say. And when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I take no pleasure in killing.
It is not pleasure, per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of
That's
satisfaction.
good, I guess.
A feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
So don't you have any other skills?
None that I wouldn't get into trouble for performing publicly.
Huh.
Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
All right, then. Well, Liliana, how you doing?
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
The chantry says we return to the Maker.
And that is something to take joy in, no?
Yep. Heaven says, the feeling of power may be more desirable to the appetites than sexual pleasure. I think you could be right there. It's our libido dominandi, as Augustine puts it, our desire for power, or our draw to power. It is a... It's one way that I know the Desert Fathers put it this way, that the sins of the left hand, the sins of the flesh, are less significant and always follow after the sins of the right hand, which are the sins of the spirit. The powers for concupiscence and our physical desires, our lust, our greed, our gluttony, all these things. These always follow after our pride and our wrath, right? Our malice. All of these sins of the spirit are primary. They come before, and they are more significant than, more important than our lusts of the flesh, if you will, whether that's sexual or whatever. And I think that there is an order of priority there, and an order of desirability even. Right? Our favorite pastime, our meaning humans, right? Fallen human beings. Pretty much our favorite pastime is feeling better than other people. We love to feel better than other people. We will go so far out of our way to feel better than other people. Right? Especially if we're not better than other people. Right? This is the Karen phenomenon. Right? This is fully explanatory of the Karen phenomenon. Right? I mean, it's the same type of thing as Zevran feeling a kind of power, sense of power when he kills somebody. It's the same as Karen feeling a sense of power and superiority when she yells at you for, not wearing a mask, or yells at you for, in my case, smoking outdoors well away from anyone on a university campus, right? Things like that, right? It's this temptation to try so very hard to feel better than other people, and I mean, it's not just the Karens, right? We meaning people more of my sensibilities are susceptible to this too, right? The sort of red-pilled folks, we're quite susceptible to wanting to feel better than other people. All of those sheep, all of those rubes, they don't understand the world like I do. Look at them following and just kind of following along and obeying. That's just me being self-aggrandizing to myself. And it's indulging in probably the worst vice there is, which is pride. We all love doing that. And it's way, 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 way more tempting. And usually way more satisfying than indulging lust. Or gluttony. Or any of the physical pleasures.
There you are.
Speaking of
Wanted to
gluttony.
talk to you.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Okay.
You and I, you know how sometimes you spend time with people and things.
I love you too, Ogren.
What? Keep your hands where I can see them. Sheesh. Can a man address a friend without getting all weird? I was just asking a favor. You had to go all that on me.
A favor? What is it?
I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. A girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously.
And you want to go find her?
It'd be nice to talk to someone else who's been out here a while. Someone else from Orzammar.
Who is she?
Her name's Felsi. She and I were friends after Branca left for the deep roads. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living.
Wait, you cheated on Bronca?
Me? Cheat? Ah! That iron-thighed shrew had left me long before. And she cheated on me with that tramp Hespeth. I grant you, I didn't find out about that till after, but hey, truth is truth. Anyway, she left for the surface a year back, and I haven't seen her since.
Why'd she leave?
What? Why are you asking me? I didn't do anything. Last
Okay.
I heard, she was gonna live with her mother on the surface, near some lake. Clean Bad Lake, was it? Yeah, I sod it, I don't remember.
Clean Bad? You mean Lake Calenad? We can go there.
No, I think it was Clean Bad. I remember because I thought, yeah, that's right. Dirty good, clean bad.
God, Ogren.
Yeah. But thanks for offering to take us there. You're a good friend, Warden. No, what was it you wanted to say?
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
You sure you're fine with what happened with Bronca?
Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway.
You're handling this well.
Handling what? Bronca? Pih. That treasure's been long buried. Ancestors take me. You people whine like tea kettles around here.
That's fair. Right, oh, win.
Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
Still wish that hadn't turned out the way it did.
That's not something either of us can alter, so it is best to put it behind you. But that
Wise.
aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you.
Aw. I'm grateful I can use my gift for something good.
You are a true child of the Circle. Raw power tempered with learning, wisdom, and the desire to serve others. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Alright, that's everyone. I think we've talked to everybody at least once here. So... let's go... oh no, we didn't talk to Duncan. We need to pet Duncan.
Oh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Okay, do we want to be crude? Rude. Nice to the dog. He'd more meat on your bones. Oh my gosh. Why doesn't he share his food with me? He ruined them? Does this mean you'll have to go without? Wink.
Maybe, but that is not the point.
Oh my gosh.
Dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
It was a gift. You can't just throw it away like that.
I just did.
Aw. Poor puppy.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Oh, that's great. This is delightful. All right. Let's go to House Kadash, Spring Shale. Let's go to Lake Calenad. We'll bring Ogren. And let's just bring Morgan, because
Indeed.
bring her with us. Why not? That'll do. To Duke-and-Tide, Carridan's Crush, Ortantide, or Frostback. Where's Well, let's just go to Lake Hallenhead first. Might as well. Uh-oh. A thing. Some manner of random encounter. Wolves! Okay, wolves. And let's put this last little bit of incense on the burner. The charcoal. I'm not actually sure. I'm wondering if there is a way of... Oh! That's interesting. We're completely surrounded. Hey Morgan, turn into a bear for me quick. Alright, cool. Breezy. Really? Okay. Oops. Okay. Not another one. Who is setting these traps?
If it must.
Because it's not the wolves. I don't think it's the wolves. Wolves were good to say. Thanks, someone. Anyway. So I had a funny thought earlier. So something that's come up recently, there's been a trailer for the new Cruella de Vil movie, which is going to be bad. I'm just guessing. It's not necessarily going to be bad, but it's almost definitely going to be bad.
Rest the souls of all, Templar and Mage, who gave their lives defending the Circle. May they find peace at last.
Yeah. But yeah, it's almost certainly going to be bad. Because it's another one of those sort of inversion-y type things. You know, it's almost definitely one of those sort of postmodern inversion stories where we look at, you know, we look at things from the villain's perspective. And we're meant to, for some idiot reason, sympathize with the woman who wanted to skin puppies alive. In the actual movie, she was the villain in, which is, you know, yeah, that's something, right? She's the sympathetic character, the one who wanted to skin puppies alive. Yeah, all right, sure, why not? But anyway, the new film is obviously going to be worse than we even feared. Just look at the trailer if you don't believe me. It is a combination heist movie and origin story, and she is definitely the protagonist.
Talk to her. Look, you gotta back me up here. Got it?
What do you mean back you up?
Just follow my lead, you know?
Go get her.
Just be ready to pry her off when she throws herself at me. We don't want to make a scene here. Well, don't pry her off me too soon. I mean, a little scene's all right. Are you sure you're not a baker? 'Cause you got a sodding nice set of buns.
Agrin, is that you?
Yeah, in the flesh, baby.
What are you doing here?
Just trying to kick back with a pint. Fighting darkspawn's a lot of sodding work, you know?
You're
really?
Darkspawn?
Really, Ogren? That's where you can lead with? I'm okay. I didn't die. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna back him up. Wingmanning. 100% wingman time. Oh god. This man took on an army of golems almost single-handedly.
It was a bit of pain, but it was a personal favor for the King of Orzammar, you understand?
This is so ridiculous.
A whole surface to choose from, and you just happened to come to my tavern?
Well,
he was looking for you, actually.
You know, I was thinking about our days together back in Orzammar.
Oh, so you mean you didn't find another girl willing to put up with you pissing on the table? I'm shocked.
It's a sign of affection.
God. Tell her you've been thinking of her.
I've been thinking about you, Felsi.
What do you want, Ogren?
Nothing. Just thought I'd see how you were doing is all. Well, maybe that and grease up the Bronto, if you know what I mean.
Well, you've seen me. You'll have to go back to Orzammar for the Bronto.
Let's can't waste time here. The queen's waiting for us. Let's go for it.
Oh, the queen needed a new fool, did she?
Oh, well, it's been fun, Felsi. But I better go.
Don't let the door hit you in the arse on the way out. Actually, who am I kidding? Go ahead and let it. Indulge yourself.
Oh, sorry, dude. I tried, Ogren. I really did try a little bit. I tried a little. Anyway, good lord. Sorry, buddy. So I was
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
So what I was saying, I was thinking this was a comment in a Facebook group talking about the Cruella thing and it being awful, and it being one of those like, why would you try and rehabilitate these characters? Oh right, strong female characters for some reason that you think you can rehabilitate and make into like sympathetic characters or anti-villains or something. And I'm sure Cruella was a bad choice, but somebody brought up, can you imagine them doing this with Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame? And my thought was immediately, yes. Yes, I could. They never would. But damn, would it be cool. Just think about it. So you think of Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Prequel. Like a sort of villain origin story prequel. where instead of the typical villain origin story where you turned out what turned them evil, which is, what a villain origin story is kind of supposed to be, their, fall from grace. Like, think Darth Vader, But what would be great is, like, he was in college at the University of Paris, and he has a heretical professor that he is constantly butting heads with, and it's basically 16th century God's Not Dead starring Frollo. I'm just like, I would so watch the living hell out of this. Because all of these stupid villain origin stories that Disney's doing, like Maleficent and whatever, right? All of them are portraying the villain as the protagonist, and actually as the sympathetic protagonist. And so just have Frollo just basically be like, have the Frollo origin story, having him butting heads with a heretical professor at the University of Paris. It'd be just amazing. I would love that so much. I would actually watch it. I would actually enjoy it. And you might get me to sympathize with the bad guy. Oh gosh, no, it would be. I joke, in part because there's no way in hell that would ever happen. Excuse me. Anyway, there's no way in hell it would ever happen, even despite how fun that would be. So I kind of joke there. But it's a funny concept. It's definitely an enjoyable concept as far as I'm concerned. What's she about here? Oh, I have a letter from you for you from the Blackstone Irregulars. I forgot I had this.
Let me take a look. No, I can't believe this. I won't.
Sorry. It's awkward. Alright, Skedoodle. Let's get out of here. What are these three for here? What are you guys here?
Yes?
I'm here on behalf of the Blackstone Irregulars.
Oh? What is this about?
I hear you stole supplies from the guild.
Oh, I see. Tauren must have sent you. I refuse to answer to a pawn of Tauren. Come, men, to arms!
Why are we doing this? Guys, you're fighting a Grey Warden. It's a mistake. Nah. Freezy.
While I do my happy dance.
Ah! Jesus, Oghren. What's wrong with you? There's so much wrong with you, Oghren. Anyway. Alright. How about do? Yeah. Alright. So Kevin asked, in Lord of the Rings, what do the elves do to make their weapons lighter, without sacrificing the efficiency that physics brings, since weight adds in damage dealing? Yes, it does, but elves are weaker than humans, usually pretty significantly. This is not something that's well portrayed in the films, really at all. But they are typically much weaker, but much more graceful, much more precise, right, than humans are. And so what this typically means is that elves can strike far more precisely with their relatively lighter weapons, much more quickly and precisely. And so they can make good use of a lighter weapon, which does, in fact, do less damage. Now, they're typically harder. They're typically more, harder and flexible, better made in general. Elven weapons, and particularly high elven weapons. So weapons made, say, by like the smiths of Gondolin, things like weapons like Glamdring and Orcrist, things like that. But you see this especially, somewhat in the Silmarillion, but much more so in the Children of Húrin, for example, where Turin, Húrin's son, his child, as it were. Turin grew up with and trained with the elves, go to Kadash Taig. And because of this, he was a terror in combat. He trained with the Elves for a good long time. He lived for a very, very long time for a human. This was before the decline of men, where men lived for hundreds and hundreds of years. And he trained with the Elves of Doriath for a very long time, to the point where he learned a lot of their grace and precision. Oh, hello. Because of that, he had the strength of a man and the grace, and much of the grace of an elf. Part of what this means is that he was, like I said, a terror on the battlefield. He had a reputation for being basically unbeatable by anyone, elves included, whether elves or humans or anything else. And this was because he had the strength of a human. Right? Men are much stronger than elves, physically. But elves are more graceful, in part just because they are just inherently more graceful, but then also because they train. They have much longer to train, if nothing else.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
It could be good or bad.
Good, of course. It doesn't want to have anything in common with all those other filthy substandard human types, does it? Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
Well, I am a mage.
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
It is quite welcome. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Okay. Nice. Anyway. But yeah, does that answer the question? Because it's it is there is a good reason why elven weapons are much lighter. Maybe the kind of the trouble with this is that, say, when a wizard or a dwarf picks up an elven weapon and wields it as if they are wielding an ordinary longsword built for them, that seems a little strange. Like Turin, or not Turin, Thorin wielding Orcrist seems odd.
Kadash Taig.
This is where you're from?
Perhaps. It may also be where I was found. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however.
All right. Let's look.
Was this the home once? Did I live here?
All right.
Wipe them out!
Actually, you know what? Oh, Brontos are coming. Okay. That's it. So Kevin says, right, so we do not have elven heavy weapons, such as hammers and maces. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Now, that isn't quite to say that that hammers and maces couldn't be lighter weapons. Right? A warhammer could be a relatively light weapon, because it's for, increasing impact ratio. If it's like a, I just saw something about this. One of those with the like 4-pronged hammers that are made for punching through armor for plate mail. Although, to be fair, heavy plate mail is not actually very common in Tolkien's Legendarium in Middle-earth, so maybe that's not too relevant. Point being, though, right, that it is it can be a relatively light weapon. It doesn't have to be overly heavy. Let's do that. Stealing magic. There. And Ogren, you just die way too quickly. This is ridiculous. I have to get into a habit of putting Death Ward on Ogren, aren't I? Really? Should have known.
Yes.
But yeah, the fact that there could be elven heavier weapons, right, or there could be lighter hammers and such, that doesn't mean that there likely were. I don't actually know of any. Ooh, what's that? Oh, gross. Huge bonus to Constitution. Oh my god. Lower strength, lower willpower, though. Might actually be good, kind of good for me. I don't need strength. I do need willpower, but I have a lot. Plus 12 Constitution, though. That's so much hit points, man.
I see nothing.
What is... that?
Really? Shale got caught in a leg hole trap. That's kind of silly. But yeah, so to be more precise, I guess, elves tended not to make weapons that depended on weight, on physical heft, because they couldn't depend on physical strength to the degree that humans can, and especially to the degree that dwarves can. Kevin says, I wasn't aware of the strength disparity between elves and men. I always assume elves did something to the weapons like an enchantment that made them lighter to the wielder but normal damage. No, it's the reason that you don't really see that is, or that you're probably not aware of it, is because it's not made clear at all in the films, and barely, if at all, even in the books. It only really comes up in the sort of expanded Legendarium. So you know, the Silmarillion, the Lost Tales, the other books, the other sort of novels, things like that. And everyone just goes to sleep. What am I missing?
Yes. Huh.
Cast Fireball centered on self.
First one to kill it gets the prize.
Jeez. This is quite something. This is, by the way, not at all the quest I was intending to be doing tonight. But, alright. Oh, there's nothing back there, okay. I was planning on doing the quest where we go back to Ostagar. I guess we'll do that next week. I actually don't know how much further this is, how much more there is here, so I don't know if we'll finish this. We might, though.
Crawling with filth. Typical.
Are you kidding me?
Going. Yes.
And I'm off.
Alright. That's not good.
Going.
All right.
Maybe I should have brought Liliana, huh? All right. Okay. I might have to call it before I get too much further, won't I? Bit of a shame. I thought we were actually getting through this. I did not think that this was... I've done this before, but it's been a long time. So I did not remember exactly how long this was. So let's advance just a bit more. We have a few more minutes. And then wrap it up before we finish this quest line. Maybe one more little area with one more little combat. Oh, I saved game. You know what? That means it's as good enough a time as any to do a manual save on top of that. That little autosave. And I think it is, you're right, as Kevin said, about that time. It is 11:57. That means it's damn near close to midnight. And I think we're going to call it here for tonight. We're going to pick up here where we left off, finishing up Shale's loyalty mission, personal quest, call it what you want, figuring out some about her past, her people. And then we'll continue on with some of the main story stuff. We'll go to revisit Ostagar. We'll go move on back to Redcliffe and cure the Arl. All that next week, and probably more. As for Monday, we are going to be moving on to playing Nier Automata. That should be a lot of fun. I've been told all sorts of great things about the game. I have never played it, so I have no idea what it's like. I have only vague ideas about what it's about, and the mechanics and everything, but it should be a really good time. I know it is philosophically pretty interesting. I know there's tons of different endings. I am just going to go with whatever I wind up getting organically. I'm not going through with any guides or anything. I'm just going through the game, making decisions as I make decisions. So, and as we discuss in the chat. So if you are familiar with the game, and you do want to start swaying me towards one path or another, feel free to do so, either explicitly or surreptitiously, whatever you want. I look forward to such things. It should be a lot of a good time. In any case, have a happy Easter, as I've been saying before. Happy rest of the Easter season. Have a good weekend. I'm looking forward to a good spring break starting earlier today. My spring break is horrifically late in the semester this year in an attempt to get people to go away for goof reasons. But anyway, I have spring break next week, so I have papers to grade and relaxation to partake in, both. So, with that, thank you all for joining me once again, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night.